Hello friends, welcome to my channel Versatile. Are you preparing for your SQL developer interview? Then you have come to the right place. I will help you to brush up on your SQL skills. So we will go for the SQL interview questions and answers for beginners. So what is database? A database is an organized collection of data stored and retrieved digitally from a remote or a local computer system. Databases can be vast and complex, and such databases are developed using fixed design and modeling approaches. What is DBMS? DBMS stands for Database Management System. DBMS is a system software responsible for the creation, retrieval, updation, and the management of database. It ensures that our data is consistent, organized, and is easily accessible by serving as an interface between the database and its end users or a application software. What is RDBMS and how it is different from DBMS? This is the most important question in any SQL interview. So, what is RDBMS? RDBMS stands for Relational Database Management System. The key difference here compared to DBMS is that RDBMS stores data in the form of collection of tables and relations. Relations can be defined between common fields of these tables. Most modern databases management systems like MySQL, Microsoft SQL Server, Oracle, IBM DB2, and Amazon Redshift are based on the RDBMS. Now, what is SQL? SQL stands for Structured Query Language. It is standard language for relational database management system. It is especially useful in the handling organized data comprised of entities and relations between different entities of data. What is the difference between SQL and MySQL? SQL is a standard language for retrieving and manipulating the structured databases. On the contrary, MySQL is a relational database management system like SQL Server, Oracle, or IBM DB2 that is used to manage the SQL databases. Now, what are the tables and fields? A table is an organized collection of data stored in the form of rows and columns. Columns can be categorized as a vertical and rows as a horizontal. The columns in the tables are called fields, while rows can be referred to as a records. What are the constraints in SQL? Constraints are used to specify the rules concerning data in the table. It can be applied for a single or multiple fields in SQL table during the creation of the table or after creating using the alter table command. The constraints are not null, check, default, unique, index, primary key, foreign key. Not null restricts null values from being inserted into the column. Check constraint verifies that all values in a field satisfied a condition. Default automatically assigns a default value if no value has been specified for a field. Unique constraint. It ensures unique value to be inserted into the field. Index. Indexes is a field providing faster retrieval of records. Primary key. It uniquely identifies each record in a table. Foreign key ensures referential integrity for a record in another table. Now, what is primary key? This is the most important question in any SQL interview, and this is very basic question for the interview. Every student must know that what is primary key. The primary key constraint uniquely identifies each row in a table. It must contain unique values and has an implicit null constraint. A table in a SQL is strictly restricted to have one and only one primary key, which is comprised of single or multiple fields. Now, what is unique constraint? A unique constraint ensures that all values in a columns are different. This provides uniqueness for the columns and helps identify each row uniquely. Unlike primary key, there can be multiple unique constraints defined per table. The code syntax for the unique is quite similar to the primary key and can be interchangeably. What is foreign key? This is also one of the most important question. What is foreign key? A foreign key comprises of single or collection of fields in a table that essentially refers to the primary key in another table. Foreign key constraint ensures referential integrity in the relation between two tables. The table with the foreign key constraint is labeled as a child table, and the table containing the candidate key is labeled as the parent table. What is join and list its different types? The SQL join clause is used to combine records or rows from two or more tables in a SQL database based on the related column between the two tables. Table A join table B. Select star from table A, inner join table B. Left join, we often call it outer join, retrieves all the records or rows from the left and match the records from the right table. Syntax for the left join, select star from table A. Here we have given a aliases for the table A. Left join table B for B on A dot column is equal to B dot column, the common column between them. Right outer join retrieves all the records or rows from the right and the matched records from the left table. Syntax is select start from table A, right join table B on common column between them, that is A dot column is equal to B dot column. Full join retrieves all the records where there is a match in either left or a right table. Syntax is select start from a table A, full join table B on common column between both. A dot column is equal to B dot. What is a self join? A self join is a case of regular join where a table is a join to itself based on some relation between its own columns. Self join uses the inner join or left join clause, and a table aliases is used to assign different name to the table within the query. Here is a syntax for the self join. Now, what is cross join? Most of the interviewers ask this question, that what is cross join? Cross join can be defined as a Cartesian product of the two tables included in the join. The table after join contains the same number of rows as in the cross product of the number of rows in the two tables. If a where clause is used in cross join, then the query will work like an inner join. Here is the syntax. Now, what is index and its different types? A database index is a data structure that provides the quick lookup of data in a column or columns of a table. It enhances the speed of operations accessing data from a database table at the cost of additional writes and memory to maintain the index data structure. There are different type of indexes that can be created for different purpose. Unique and non-unique index. Unique index are indexes that helps maintain data integrity by ensuring that no two rows of data in a table have identical key values. Once a unique index has been defined for a table, uniqueness is enforced whenever keys are added or changed within the index. Here is the syntax. Non-unique indexes, on the other hand, are not used to enforce constraints on the tables with which they are associated. Instead, non-unique indexes are used solely to improve query performance by maintaining a sorted order of data values that are used frequently. Clustered and non-clustered index. Clustered indexes are indexes whose order of the rows in the database corresponds to the order of the rows in the index. This is why only one clustered index can exist in a given table, whereas multiple non-clustered indexes can exist in a table. The only difference between clustered and non-clustered indexes is that database manager attempts to keep the data in a database in the same order as the corresponding keys appear in the clustered index. Clustering index can improve the performance of most query operations because they provide a linear access path to data stored in a database. Now, what is the difference between clustered and non-clustered index? As we see, clustered index modifies the way records are stored in a database based on the index column. A non-clustered index creates a separate entity within a table which references the original table. The clustered index is used for easy and speedy retrieval of data from the database, whereas fetching records from the non-clustered index is relatively slower. In SQL, a table can have a single clustered index, whereas it can have multiple non-clustered index. What is data integrity? Data integrity is a assurance of accuracy and consistency of data over its entire life cycle and is a critical aspect of design implementation and uses of any system which stores, processes, or retrieves the data. It also defines integrity constraints to enforce business rules on the data when it is entered into an application or a database. What is a query? A query is a request for data or information from a database table or a combination of tables. A database can be either a select query or an action query. For example, I have given here a select query. Now, what is subquery and what are its types? A subquery is a query within another query, also known as a nested query or an inner query. It is used to restrict or enhance the data to be queried by the main query, thus restricting or enhancing the output of the main query respectively. What is select statement? Select operator in SQL is used to select data from a database. The data written is stored in the result table called as a result set. Here I have given a syntax for a select query. Select star from the mydb.student. What are some common clauses used in a select query in SQL? This is the most important question and every SQL students must know or must aware of this question. Some clauses, common SQL clauses used in conjunction with the select query are as follows. Where clause. Where clause in SQL is used to filter records that are necessary based on the specific condition. Order by clause. Order by clause is in SQL is used to sort the records based on some fields in ascending or descending order. Group by clause. Group by clause in SQL is used to group the records with the identical data and can be used in conjunction with some aggregation functions to produce summarized result from the database. Having clause. In having clause in SQL is used to filter records in combination with the group by clause. It is different from where, since the where clause cannot be used, cannot filter aggregate record. What is cursor? How to use a cursor? A database cursor is a control structure that allows for a traversal of records in a database. Cursors in addition facilitates Processing after traversal, such as retrieval, addition, and deletion of database records. They can be used, they can be viewed as a pointer to one row in a set of rows. Working with SQL cursor. Declare a cursor after many variable declaration. The cursor declaration must always be associated with the select statement. Open cursor to initialize the result set. The open statement must be called before fetching rows from the result set. Fetch statement. Fetch statement to retrieve and move to the next row in the result set. Call the close statement to deactivate the cursor. Finally, use the deallocate statement to delete the cursor definition and release the associated resources. What is an alias in SQL? An alias is a feature of SQL that is supported by the most, if not all, RDBMS. It is temporary name assigned to the table or table column for purpose of particular SQL query. In addition, aliasing can be employed as an obfuscation technique to secure the real names of database fields. A table alias is also known as correlation name. An alias is represented explicitly by an as keyword, but in some cases the same can be performed without it as well. Nevertheless, using the as keyword is always a good practice. Here I have given a syntax. What is a view? A view in a SQL is a virtual table based on the result set of a SQL statement. A view contains rows and columns just like a real table. The field in a view are fields from one or more real tables in a database. What is normalization? Normalization represents the way of organizing structured data in a database efficiently. It includes the creation of tables and establishing the relations between them, and defining the rules for those relationships. Inconsistency and redundancy can be kept in check based on these rules, hence adding flexibility to the database. What are the what are the truncate, delete and drop statement? Delete statement is used to delete rows from the table. Truncate command is used to delete all the rows from the table and free the space containing the table. Drop command is used to remove an object from the database. If you drop a table, all the rows in a table are deleted and the table structure is removed from the database. What is stored procedure? A stored procedure is a subroutine available to the applications that access a RDBMS. Such procedures are stored in a database data dictionary. The sole disadvantage of stored procedure is that it can be executed nowhere except in the database and occupies more memory in the database server. It also provides a sense of security and functionality as users who can't access the data directly can be granted access via stored procedures. Thank you for watching. Please like our channel and share as you can. Comment below if you have any questions and subscribe our channel. Thank you so much.